Video number 7 on the 6-cycle oddball. What we're going to make today is the valve chamber, and this is the lower part of the exhaust valve, and then this is the intake valve. Now on this one I'm going to change it. This is all one piece in this drawing, but I'm going to make this as one piece and then insert that, and we'll just solder it in there. And that'll make it a lot easier to make. So we're going to start off with this slug of steel. This is actually cast iron, but you can use any steel actually. Cold roll steel will be fine. Cast iron is better. I had a lot of cast iron around and I want to use that. And I like the way it machines. So this is what we're going to start with. Okay, the first thing we have to do is find the center. 626 thousandths. So that's 313. Now flip it over just to make sure that we're in the right space. Yeah. Now we'll go this way. We got 812. So we want 4, 6. And there's our center. What I'm going to do is prick punch that now. And then we'll put it in the lathe. Okay, that looks good. So we're going to put this in the 4-jaw. It's going to go this way just to here. A tiny here. That's it. Let's turn that on and see how it looks. Just a tiny bit of wobble there. See if I can see where that is. Ah, there it is. Yeah. It's got to come this way, just a tiny bit. Now, if that wasn't exactly centered, it wouldn't make a heck of a lot of difference as long as it isn't in the way of the bolts, but I just try to get it as close as possible. Yeah, that looks good. Tighten them all. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to drill a small hole down to this point, and then I'm going to open it up to 1/4 inch. And I'm going to stop right there. If I drill all the way through with that small drill, it's going to go off somewhat, quite a bit, maybe 10 thousandths. So if I drill down to here and then start in that pocket where the point of the drill ends, it'll be less likely to be off center. Use a spotting drill. I put that in as far as I can, and there's less chance that it can wobble a little bit if the hole isn't in the exact right place. Just go in there lightly and start the drill in. Good. Now I can drill it. Like I said, this is a brand new drill. I'm going to go in 3/4 inch. There's 650, 700. There's 750 right there. Now I'm going to step up to a 5/32 drill. Go in the same amount. The final drill for that hole is 1/4 inch. And that's 3/4 deep. Right. Now what I'm going to do is go back to the small drill and finish drilling the hole and ream it. This drill is a 7/64, just under an 1/8 inch, and the final hole is going to be a reamed 1/8 inch hole. So I'm going to follow that up with a 120 thousandths. This is a number drill, and that's only 5 thousandths under the reamed hole. Now we're going to ream that to 1/8. Turn the speed way down. It's only taking out 5 thousandths. Now the next step is we're going to do this hole here, which is 3, well, it's 3/8 plus a 1/1000th. And the reason that's 1/1000th bigger is the part that fits in there is going to be 3/8 diameter. But that's, to shoot for that, doesn't have to be perfect, but you can make the other piece fit it. But I'm going to bore it in, but I'm not going to go to the bottom. I'm going to stay 5 thousandths off the bottom, and at the end, I'm just going to make the bottom flat by going in another 5 thousandths and running the tool this way. Okay, now I'm going to zero this here. Make my dial indicator, set that at 0. And that hole has to be, it shows it 437 deep. So I'm going to go 432 deep. 432. Set up the stop. I'm just going to measure that, see how far we have to go. Okay, that's not 300 yet, so it's got to go 85 thousandths. I'm taking cuts at 10, so that's going to take a minute to do that. Be taking out 20 at a time. That should be getting close. That's 350. I got another 25 to go. I'm going to just go 5 at a time. Okay. You're getting awful close there. Just a couple of thousandths to go. It's close enough. It's 2 thousandths over. So I'll have to make the piece a little 2 thousandths bigger. Okay, now the next thing is the valve seat. So I know, well, actually I got to go in 5 thousandths to make the bottom flat. So I'm going to leave that tool set where it is and set this to 0. Put the tool in the middle. So I've set this at 0. I'm going to go into the middle of there. Move the stop down 5 thousandths to 5 thousandths. So now I'm in 5 thousandths. So now I'm going to crank this back out to 0. And that'll make the hole exactly the right depth and 5 thousandths, I mean, nice and flat. Now comes the difficult part. Down inside there, where you can't see, we've got to put in a valve seat. And the valve seat should only be about 20 thousandths wide. And the reason for that is it makes it easier to lap in. So it's very, very tiny. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I know where this is to the bottom. So I got to find out where the hole is exactly. And then I'm going to go in like 12 thousandths and back this out at 45 degrees. And that should create the valve seat. To get in there to depth, Move the stop up. So that's perfect. So I know that the stop is right. That's against the seat. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold a little pressure on this and turn this until it goes inside. Should drop right in there as soon as I get to the right point. And just crank this in until it moves. There it is, right there. Okay, so that's at 66. So what I'm going to do is zero this. And I'm going to do it again. Crank that out, go until I hit it. So that should go right at 0. There it is, right at 0. Okay, so that's pretty good. I got to find out where the seat is now with this dial indicator. So I know at 0, I'm right in the hole, right in the 1/4 inch hole. So I'm going to come out a little further. Set that. Put this here. Set this to 0. So I'm against the seat inside. And what I'm going to do is crank this back to 0. It should drop right in there. There it goes. And then I'm going to move, well, that's 14 thousandths. That should do it. 12 to 14. Let's go 12 thousandths. Okay, right there. I'll lock the table. Now what I'm going to do is flat this up, and I'm going to back it out at 45 degrees. And that should be it. I'm going to look in there with a mirror, make sure I've got a valve seat. Now if it's narrower than 20 thousandths, that's fine. If you go too wide, what happens is it takes a lot to lap it in. But a little narrower, almost down to 10 thousandths is fine. I can see the seat in there. It looks good. I'm going to take it out of the chuck now and try to see if we can show it to you. Now I'm just going to loosen 2 jaws in case I have to put that back in there. Pull that out. Okay. See if you can focus inside there. Okay, I don't know if you can see the seat in there, but it's in there and it's nice and narrow. I've got to recenter this. Now this has to be somewhere near center. It's just going to leave the protrusion for the valve spring. So if it wasn't perfect, it's not going to matter, but we've got to get as good as we can. That looks pretty good. Now did I leave enough protruding there? It's got to be 281. Yeah. So that should be plenty. So I'm going to move that in 281. 1, 2, 81 is right there. Not going to hit anything. Set up my stop. Now we're going to turn that to a diameter of 218. That's 350. It's 275. 240. So we got to take another 10, and that should almost do it. It's just 2 over. I'm going to take off one of this, and the spring of the tool will probably be right on. All that's for is the valve spring has to fit around that. It's the only function it has. I'll take this out of here. So the next thing we're going to do is these 2 radiuses. Now that says a 3/8 radius, so that's a 3/4 inch diameter end mill. I don't think I have a 3/4, but I'm going to try to get as close as I can. That's just for looks anyway, so it doesn't matter. Even if you didn't do it, it wouldn't matter. So what I'm going to do, I don't have a 3/4 inch end mill. I don't even have anything close, so I'm going to use this fly cutter, and I've got to set that to 3/8. Handy little setting jig. I'm going to set that to 3/8. So 3/8 from 2 inches is 5/8. There it is. That's 3/8. We can lock it in place. It's going to be close enough. I'll put a little bluing on this so I know where I am. 9/16 down from the top. So let's go. 9/16 is 562. Set this at 562. And then 7/16. 7/16, 437 from 2. So it shows it 187 from there. So we're going to go up 187. The top, yep, that looks good. And we'll take it over the mill and see if we can come down on that and hit it just right. I'm just going to set this up by eye because it's not real fussy. Then we got to turn it this way. Set it on the other line. On the other line. That should be good right there. Okay. Now I got to set up some stops. And make sure that's going to clear the other side. I get to the bottom of it.
Say something.
So we'll do the other side off camera to save time. So we're going to make the mating part for this next. Make sure they're all tight. Then we're going to drill a hole through there, a little hole. And we'll use the same method. I'm going to drill into the bottom of where the valve guide starts, and then I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to finish the hole. So, the 1/4 inch hole goes in 425. Okay. The 1/4 inch hole goes in 425, so I'm going to open that up to a 1/4 inch in 425. I'm going to do the same method. I'm going to open the hole up slowly so it stays where it's supposed to be. I'm going back to the initial drill. That's 7/64. It's a 7/64 drill. The reason I'm using that is the brand new drill. So this is the number 31 drill, 120 thousandths, and then we'll run the reamer through it. Okay, the next thing on this is the valve seat. And it's real easy on this one because it's right on the top here. Just going to put that boring bar back in there if I can. So what I was doing in the other one was inside where you couldn't see it is I'd ran the tool up against that, which was the flat, and turned this in till it would go inside. And I want to go in about 12 to 15 thousandths. There it is. Going in 12.5 thousandths. Now I'm going to lock this. Turn the machine on. And you'll probably be able to see this a lot easier than you could the other one. I'll show it to you afterwards. But this is at 45 degrees. I'm going to run that through there a couple of times. In case there's any spring in the tool. There's a nice seat. That one may be a hair wider than 20 thousandths, but we'll see. Okay, the next thing to do is I've got to make a little bit of spigot sticking out on that to slip into the other part. I'm going to get the dimensions on that. It's 187. So I think I have to protrude that out a little farther to get 187 out of that. Find the outside. Go in 187. 187 right there. Set my stop. Make sure nothing's going to hit. That should be quite a bit oversized still. Yeah, it's 470, it's 100 over. We'll take a couple of more 20s. Now we're going to go 5. We're almost there. Okay, now we're going to start trying to fit the tool on there, fit the other part onto it. I don't want to go under too far. Oh, boy, that's almost perfect. I'm just going to run that on, do a spring cut. That's good. Pretty tight. I guess once it's clean, that will be good. That's good. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to take that out and turn it around and turn the other side. 350. That's not too bad. I can get it in there far enough to grab it, I guess. Let's see, we got to recenter it. Pretty good. That goes in there 312. Okay, that must be getting close. The time to take the measurement here. It's supposed to be 218. So it's 254. So we can go another 10. I gotta go in 12 now. So I'll go in 4, that should be 8. Pretty close. Perfect, 218. So now, I'm just going to chamfer the top of that here with the file. There's the two parts fit together. Same in the sides. So now, we got to bolt them together. Now those are an 1/8 inch in both directions, so that made it easy to mark it off. We'll hit all of those with a center drill. The clearance drill is a 99 thousandths. So we're going to go with a number 39 drill for clearance. The number 3 screw. I hit this on the sander just to get those sides a little closer so it'll grab good in the vise. And now I can mark all 4 of those holes and drill the tap hole. Put a prick punch mark on here to match, so I won't have to look at it to see which way it goes on. These holes intersect the holes that are going the other way. So I'm going to go in about 350. .348 tap. We won't show you tapping all these holes. It takes too long. About 8 threads deep. I'm only going to go in 3 turns on this one and clear it every time. Gotta clear that a lot because it tries to jam up in that cast iron, I guess. There's 3, okay. If I do 3 at a time, it seems to work good. There's no oil on this because it's cast iron. That should be plenty. 1/8. So we're going to go in 1/8. So it's in 1/8. And up 5/16, which is 3/12. Right there. Oh. I've prick punched this, and I'm going to do a spotting drill, and then I'm going to drill through it. Now it says to use a number 32 drill, but I think it's for a 440 screw, but I usually use a number 33 drill. I think that fits my counterbore better. So we'll drill them, start with a 33, drill them through, and then test it with a counterbore. Yeah, see, that fits my counterbore perfectly. So we're going to counterbore those. And that's going to make this the top. You got to see how deep to do it. Number 4 screw is about 105 thousandths deep. I'll set up my stop here on my dial indicator. I'm going to go 100 thousandths deep. A 440 screw and stick in there. It should fit right in there. Perfect. Nice and flush. So the last hole in this is this one here, and that's that is the exhaust port. So it says to tap it 5/16 24, but I'm going to use that 5/16 40 tap in there. So that's going to change the hole size a little bit. But the finer thread, I like the finer thread. It doesn't take up as much space on the. It gives you you can drill a bigger hole in the muffler. That's the threaded hole for the muffler. So it's 687 down. We're going to mark that, and in the center. 687. Right there. It's 8, 4, 6. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. I should have marked that before because it lines this hole here lines up with those. This is the intake port to the cylinder. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to spot drill both those holes, and then I'll drill a small hole in and then open them up. (15/64). I'm going to go to a 1/4 inch. Now this is the exhaust one. I have to tap this, so I got to get the tap. This is the tap drill, which is a 9/32 for that 5/16 40 tap. Now that one gets tapped. To start this in here, the chuck isn't strong enough to hold it and tap it all the way, but if I get it started, I can take this over to the other vise and finish it with the regular tap handle. I'm going to put this in this vise. Hold it sturdy, steady, and then put the tap handle on it hopefully and go in there. It should go in pretty straight now. I got it mostly tapped. And this is cast iron, so I'm not using any oil. You can see what a nice fine thread that does. Okay, so there's the finished part, and this is going to go on the cylinder head here. We'll do that in the next video. We'll have to tap the two holes for that to hold it on. Thank you very much for watching, and if you liked what you saw, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.